There's no trying to create a switch. It's just shut it down, do your job. And you're seeing them kind of take over with that style right now.
Maybe a little bit of a cross up there, somebody getting tired, but Bembenista was able to pull that down, and then they move it all the way across the field to Landis. Landis doesn't have the huck. He really enjoys that. And then streaking in was Johnson. And Bembenista again. That one hand.
Time.
Yep. That's the second time he had to. And now he doesn't have a lot of options, but he throws that blade over the top to Landis that goes beyond Giannis. And now they switch fields again, which is generally good practice, but they're not getting the follow, right?
Yeah, you can see the Thunderbirds. They look a little tired right now. A lot more jogged cuts. I don't see anybody getting into the lane and sprinting.
And you see Mast with his hands on his knees, and he's been working hard all night, no faulting him. And, they're gaining yards inch by inch. Marshall pushing in, but Johnson right on his tail. And you wonder when Landis is going to get a little bit desperate. He doesn't, though. He throws it up to Jimmy Toll. Toll puts it over the top. Can Bembenista catch up? And he does! And he does!
They needed
this time, he used both of his hands, and he caught up with it. Jimmy Toll making a big cut out of the back, turns around, sees Bembenista, bladed it more than he wanted to, but not more than Bembenista could handle.
Hey, that's
the Thunderbirds
huge
pulled in 16-19.
Huge moment for the team to fight through a point where everyone's legs are tired.
Yeah,
everyone's feeling it. Chicago seems to be kind of locking in on what they want to do and how they want to play. And then you find that simple takeaway, you move it down the field, you gut it out, you make a huge play to win it. Now you get your D-line on. Desmarais played that entire time if he has to go back.
As you suggest, pull out the stops. At this point, what are you waiting for?
Hey, this is the thing for the Birds, right? They beat the teams that are undefeated sometimes. So,
well, they're still within 3, but we've got about 4 minutes left, and the Thunderbirds have yet to break Chicago, and they're going to have to. Jimmy Toll has it. Storm working downfield with some nifty cutting against John Marsh. Pulls it in. Now Mast cuts right in front of him, gets a flip, and then Mast fires one up to Bembenista. He's got nobody with him, and he one-hands it on the way into the end zone. Man, I'll tell you, that took some kishkas, my friend, as we say in Yiddish. That took some guts, because I would not have scooped that with my trailing hand, Nick Kaczmarek. I'd have definitely wrapped both my hands around it if I could.
Honestly, if he was at a practice,
boy,
he might have gotten chewed out a little bit for that. Yeah. But hey, it's in a game, and it looks good.
Mast sends it up a perfect throw, and wow. Well,
trailing edge, too, I think.
Yeah, it was. It was trailing edge. And, hey, credit Jonathan Mast, though. He set it up perfectly, led his man. Well-thrown pass because Jeff Weiss was looking to pick up that in-cut. Now into space is Bembenista. Bembenista collects it for a goal. And the Thunderbirds, within 1, they are just simply not folding. They're taking shot after shot, and they're coming back playing exciting and really decisive offense.
I came into this game, Matt, really expecting to have an opportunity to see this Chicago help defense that I've seen them employ yesterday against Minnesota, that I've seen machine
run. The disc that he wanted to throw to Bembenista, but it's a physical error. They happen, and it shouldn't dissuade the Thunderbirds from believing that they can win this game, because they are getting open. And speaking of getting open, it's Jace Bruner versus McMonagle. Bruner forced to jump sooner than he wanted to against the taller man, and Bembenista finds McMonagle for the goal. Thunderbirds 6-8 with a quick one, and that was a well-thrown huck.
I think this game right now, Chicago has made a decision. They're going to force the disc out of Mast's hands early to one of the sidelines. The Thunderbirds have been consistent. This is because of Malachi doing it really well when it comes to his trap side. McMonagle's been in these situations.
And Bembenista, before John Marsh could make a play, Bembenista gets the pass from John Mast, and the Thunderbirds tie it up 4-4. It was a big hole. We've got 2:45 left in the quarter. And the Thunderbirds will send their defensive team out well-rested to try to get a break.
For the moment, Matt, this might be the most balanced offensive group we've seen for the Thunderbirds this year. I think there is something I think that happens when Hoffenkamp and Mullen and O'Neal are on the line. They have a gravity to them because they are really strong players who I think others look to and they clear out spaces for. Right now, there's a lot of sharing.
Alex Mullen giving everything he has out here, and he's had a really good game.
Yeah, and keep an eye on the clock now. 1:47 left. The Thunderbirds need to score.
Jimmy Toll rescues a throw from Duncan, which had to be right out in front of him. Detroit playing defense real close on these in cuts. And now, sent up deep is Oliart. Bembenista, if it beats everybody, and it does, he will catch it for the equalizer. And wow, there were 3 Detroit defenders back there set up almost like a picket fence. Moreno and Savage. And I didn't see the third, but the only one that really mattered back there was Bembenista, as Oliart sends this one up there, and give him credit. It took some guts to throw it up there, and he landed it there like a surgeon. The last defender was Talagani, but none of them could get it before Bembenista.
I think it's really hard to overstate the difficulty factor of that throw.
My gosh.
From the near side of the field all the way to the far side of the field, landing it perfectly in Bembenista's hands with 3 defenders.
I agree with you. Bembenista now coming back underneath. He had a few steps, and this time he sends it deep, and wow, right in front of Pulisic Balfour, who makes an attempt at it. This one is pulled down by, looks like Marcel Oliart. And the Thunderbirds strike quickly. That was a gutsy throw, but I think it was definitely a well-chosen throw. Oliart had room. Throw gave him the angle. If anything, it needed a little bit more juice on it to get it out beyond the defender, Pulisic Balfour. But nobody hitting that cut right off of there. But Newell throws a fake that puts his defender on his back. And now over the top is Hoffenkamp. Right on the goal line is Bembenista. Let's see if the rookie has the presence of mind to look for the reset. He does. Hoffenkamp has it. Bembenista flanking him to the reset. A lot of confusion at the front of the stack, and a foul that probably should put it in the middle, but no need for that. They give him the advantage to play on, and Bembenista finds Storm in the back of the end zone by the cone, and the Thunderbirds close it to within 2. Took one more possession than we thought it would, but they managed to get the disc back and march it 80 yards down the field.
Great heart by that offensive team to get the disc back and then work it on a not an easy point. You know,
Bembenista sends it back to Hoffenkamp. And again, Thunderbirds defense, they're stopping the in-cuts, but somehow there are no deep options either. Now Oliart sees one deep. Bembenista gets some separation from his defender. Richie Ware, and a hook completed to Bembenista from Marcel Oliart, better known for his in-cuts as a receiver. He airs it out, and it was a pretty throw, and Bembenista read it just right. And the Thunderbirds pull within 5. It's 16-11.
And that's 3 holds in a row now for the O-line. They're looking like they're getting into a groove. They desperately need to see a break here because, you know, this is the type of thing where when you're an O-line and you keep trotting back out on the field, especially in this heat, get them a little bit of a break now.
Newell, Bembenista sort of jogging a cut through that space, and there's some contact there and a foul call from Neil Donovan on Aiden Rooney. So they're going to step off 10. And it looks like the guys agree that it was a foul.
I don't know. Rooney almost looked like he thought it wasn't, but, you know, clear foul there.
Well, might be that Landis made the case to him, and now nobody switches off onto Landis, and he's deep open, but nobody sees him because there was a miscommunication between 2 defenders. There was supposed to be a roll on the mark. It wasn't there.
And it wasn't quite the right timing. I think that was the issue.
Yep. Witten patrolling the deep space right now, so the Thunderbirds, and again, they do look kind of bunched in that horizontal stack, nobody breaking out, but they're making progress down the field. Bembenista has it, and now we've got 2 cutters, right? You know, you have to probably, we get a pick called as Mullen comes through, but really he's in Landis' space there, and either Landis has to clear out or Mullen just needs to stay on the other side of the field. But that was no easy reset, and they move it now, but the Thunderbirds kind of look confused out there, and it's not that surprising, as you said, with Jimmy Toll out of the lineup. I'm sorry, not Jimmy Toll, Jonathan Mast.
Yeah, but you can see they're really favoring the flick side of the field, just pushing it over to that side.
Now they're moving it. It's in the middle. Toll's got it, shuffles it right back to Storm, and eventually they find the open receiver, and that's what happens when you start to move the disc around. The defense can't stop every downfield throw, and the Thunderbirds tie it up. 2 minutes gone in the second quarter, and that, at least on the scoreboard, is very good news.
And simply put, when you have the disc in the middle of the field, you just have way more space to work with. The defenders have to fear.
Pittsburgh take another shot. Landis will. He's been taking them all day. Gets the disc up to McMonigle, who takes the shot up towards the end zone. 3 defenders. It's Bembenista again! And he makes the grab. That's the 4th time he's done that.
The 4th time he's done that. That was incredible. On the clock, they got the disc, and look at them doing that. Justin Burnett has had that takeaway, and you saw, look at the waving hands. That's the taunt. Now, here's the question. We've seen technicals given for that. You see one here, but really impressive by Pittsburgh and so frustrating for Minnesota. They
End zone again. Peter Mann's first one down there for Minnesota. He's played well. Landis, another forehand huck. This one is Hansen going to tie Hanscom on D's, and wow, Bembenista with another huge grab on 3 Minnesota defenders. Finds Oliard. McMonigle made a nice cut down the field, but nobody saw him. And Landis finds Oliard, who goes up for Bembenista, and he makes the grab over 4 Minnesota defenders, actually. What a play by Bembenista.
Incredible play, and it's kind of best worst case scenario. That is exactly what Minnesota wants. They had the help. It peeled off the back. They had the triple coverage, but Bembenista rising up like a skyscraper. Watch this again. Elevates high points under extreme pressure, and you can see the physicality of that defense. They're not fouling him, but they're definitely bodying up and making it difficult.
They made it difficult, but Bembenista rises to the occasion like a phoenix out of the ashes. Sorry, wrong Pittsburgh USA team.
The other Pennsylvania.
The other Pennsylvania team, as Bembenista pulls the Thunderbirds.
Use a little Phoenix action right now.
They could. They are